Welcome everyone to the unnamed game, a dev journey. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I have never used Godot before. I've never made a game before, and so this is going to be really interesting for me. Anyway, I don't know how interesting it is going to be for you, but hopefully you enjoy it. This is the game so far. There's not much going on yet. I have a few elements in here, as you can see. I'm hand drawing all the elements in the game, um, including the floor. The trees, rocks, everything are going to be hand drawn. I haven't done most of the terrain elements yet, obviously, so I only have trees really. Um, so those are going to come soon. Just wanted to make sure that I could work out the placement, how everything is going to actually operate, like on a technical level with Godot, before I got stuck into drawing too much. I'm really liking the shadows. I'm really loving the billboarding of these elements. And yeah, so even though there's just a few things here so far, working through the technical stuff, I of course had to add in some floating particles. It really needed, this is the beginning of the game, but I felt like it really needed something grounding, something like atmospheric to make the world feel a bit more real. These elements are really pretty. They actually move away from the character, so they push away from the character when it walks near them. Of course, this is a magic game, so it needed something atmospheric and magical as well. So I'm really loving these particles. It took me a bit of trial and error to get them to work and to get this push effect. So that was a little challenging, but honestly, I'm really happy with it. This is like probably my favorite element in the game so far. And even though it's technically not necessary at this stage, I think it really adds something, makes it feel magical. So speaking of magic, the plan for the game is to be an open world RPG with magic. So you're a magic user, and there's going to be creature, clothing, magic spell, and decor collection. I plan to have it as a hack and slash looter. Love those games personally. So there's going to be some controls, some toggles, so you can actually adjust how intense the fighting is going to be for you. Do you want like tons of hordes? Do you want that to be very difficult, or do you want to just hang out, run around, collect some stuff, fight things here and there, but not worry too much about it? So that's going to be adjustable for players. And looting, there's going to be chests around the world where you can find loot. And the plan is to have home decorating and home building. So I know from what I've learned so far that that's going to be a little challenging, creating those mechanics. So I'm going to see how that goes. Everything is going to be hand drawn as well with all of that. So that should be interesting. But that's the plan, is to have home building and decorating as well. Overall, I definitely want the game to be fun, not stressful. I want players to have a lot of controls to adjust the game to feel right for them. Like you said, in terms of, chords and difficulty, you can pick what kind of gameplay you really want to have. I personally love games that are not stressful. I could just sort of switch off. I feel that they are somewhat of like active meditation. That's how I see it. So I really want to create a game that feels like that. You can enjoy it, but you don't really have to think too much about it. And it's somewhat like active meditation. That's the plan. And so I don't have collisions set for these trees yet. So that's going to be happening soon. One of the things I can do, so right now you can walk right through them. Right now I'm using an Xbox controller. So I have controller stuff set up for the game. There's triple jump, which I really enjoy. I'm going to be setting up PC controls as well. There's not much going on so far. As you can see, I have very limited terrain setup stuff done. So I haven't really looked into the terrain building yet, just because I want to make sure the other things get the harder stuff done out of the way, and then I can focus more on the detail of the terrain because I think that's going to take a lot of time. And then of course my character, as you can see, is this cylinder here. Um, I'm working on the character, on the first character, testing out the mechanics for that. That's been interesting. So I will show you my failed animation attempt. So here we have my first, there we go. My first animation attempt. I started with the setup of creating the skeleton, drawing every single one of these body pieces separately and overlaying them so they look like they're together. And when they move, they have to have that overlap so that you don't get gaps in the joint areas when they move. And then, of course, rig all the pieces onto this skeleton in Godot, which I'm sure a lot of you know about who have used Godot. This has been a complicated process, and it's been a lot of work. And my animation, then after you rig it, of course, you know you do the actual animation stuff, which is very detail oriented. And you can see here, this is my back. I've only done 2 small animations so far. So here's my back idle animation. It's very simple. Um, Me trying to figure out how to use this thing. So there it is. That's the back idle animation. And then I attempted to do the back walk animation. And this one it's not terrible. It's not great. But here it is. This is my back walking animation. I don't love it. So I ultimately took some time to reevaluate my options with this, and I've actually completely changed how I'm going to do the character animation. I'm no longer using this skeleton rigging system, which is great because that's going to be so much work, especially when adding clothing overlays on top of everything. Um, so so I'm doing sprint sheets now for my characters instead of this skeleton rigging, which so far I'm really a lot more happy with. There's more freedom. Obviously, drawing frames is its own work level. Okay, so here's my first idle sprint sheet. I'm doing just a few frames for now so I can actually put it into the game and check the size, check the clarity of the lines, and make sure everything is how I want it before I go and do all the frames. Because I think each animation is overall it's going to be a lot of frames. So yeah, I want to check that all the details before I do all the frames. So this is the first character. I think she looks okay. My drawing, I'm a little out of practice, but honestly, I'm pretty okay with it. I'm testing the overlays. So here's her underwear that I'm testing to overlay on top because I want to see how the clothing works, how that's going to work out before I do too much into that. And then here I have a test for what actual clothing would look like, one of the outfits that will be in the game on the animations and how that works with drawing everything, how it's going to look in the game. I haven't done the side view, so obviously I'll do that before I put it in there, but this is just to show you what that's going to look like. I really like this look so far. I'm really happy with this. Even though drawing the frames is its own work level, I think it's a lot more art friendly, I guess, for what I want. So I'm enjoying this, and I'm happy with this format of creating the animation, the characters. So this is how I'm going to be doing all the characters. There's going to be female characters, male characters. I'm going to have obviously like dresses, men's clothes, like women's clothes. There's going to be probably some unisex clothing. I have a fashion design background, and I haven't been designing in quite a while, as I'm no longer working in that industry. And so this is going to be a really fun way for me to get back into designing, and I'm really looking forward to that. This is just a larger view of the character. You can't really see it very well here, but I have some magic. I'm gonna test out how to have some magic animation as well in the idle animation here. So that's that. She doesn't have a face, she doesn't have hair, she doesn't have shoes or anything. So those are gonna be sprite sheet overlays as well that I'll do later on. But this is the look so far for the character. Once I have this full character done, probably when the game is mostly finished or closer to being finished, I will start adding in other characters. I don't think I will do it right away, but this is the first character. This is the tester character basically to just get the mechanics right. But I like the way she looks, so I'm happy with that. So really excited about that new way of animation that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be the same animation format for the NPCs, the invading creatures, there's going to be animals. That's the other plan. I'm planning to have tameable animals and pets, pet system. They're all going to be done with these sprite sheets. So yeah, I'm working on learning how to do the sprite sheets effectively before I get really stuck into all of that. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying learning how to build this game and using a Godot. I find it really user friendly. This has been a lot of fun so far for me, and I'm really excited to see how it comes out. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, and I hope that you also will like the game and the end result. Let me know if you have any suggestions, if you know how to use Godot and you have any advice. Leave your comments, things you might want to see in the game. Is this something you would play? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for coming on this journey with me.